Naniniwala ka ba na ang usapin tungkol sa pera ang isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit nag-aaway ang mag-asawa? Sa video na to, pag-uusapan natin paano nga ba mapag-uusapan ng mag-asawa, whether you are newly married or planning to get married or matagal na kayong magkasama o mag-asawa, paano nyo nga ba mapag-uusapan ng tungkol sa pera nang hindi na uuwi sa pag-aaway? It's normal for two people who came from different backgrounds with different past experiences na magkaroon ng conflict when it comes to money conversations. Kasi syempre magkaiba tayo ng iniisip, magkaiba tayo ng perspectives and personalities when it comes to money. Siguro yung isa kuripot, yung isa naman magastos, o kaya parehas kayong saver, pero magkaiba yung motivations niyo kung bakit kayo nagsisave. And that's normal. Pero dapat talaga na napag-uusapan. So ang first tip natin talaga dito is have an open conversation with your partner tungkol sa pera. Paano? Set up that first meeting. Maybe you can just say, "Han or babe, sa weekend wala naman tayong lakad, 'di ba? Pwede ba nating mapag-usapan yung ating finances?" Simple lang. Kung ano lang yung meron tayo at saka yung financial goals natin para we are both on the same page. Since mag-asawa naman na tayo, dapat alam natin, transparent tayo sa ating mga kaperahan, 'di ba? Kasi mahirap naman kung pera mo, pera ko, tapos hindi natin alam talaga kung ano yung mga pinag-iipunan natin, parang hindi tayo mag-asawa sa ganun. May mga mag-asawa or may mga partners na talagang hindi yan mag-open kaagad, lalo na kapag start pa lang ng marriage. Kasi either may tinatago or ayaw pa muna nilang i-share sa'yo kasi we don't know. We don't know where they're coming from. That's why start that conversation kasi as you do it regularly, baka maging open na rin siya to share with you kung meron man siyang mga kinikip for himself na mga money challenges. So ang goal natin dito is to have that first meeting with your partner so that you can talk about your finances. When should you talk about money? The earlier you start having money conversations, the better. Mas maganda nga kung before marriage pa, 'di ba? During dating period, na pag-uusapan niyo na paunti-unti yung tungkol sa money. Yung personalities niyo, yung goals niyo, ano ba yung mga pinag-iipunan niyo, or do you still support your family? Paano ba yung magiging setup natin pagdating ng marriage? Pwedeng ganon, paunti-unti lang. Pero kung married na kayo ngayon, nagsasama na kayo, either bago pa lang kayong kasal or matagal na kayo nagsasama pero hindi nyo na pag-uusapan ng tungkol sa pera, it's not too late. Okay lang kung hindi nyo na pag-usapan before pero you have to start now. Honey, pwede ba nating pag-usapan yung tungkol sa pera para align tayo sa ating finances, we are on track with our goals, and we are on the same page. Diba? Ganun lang. By the way, kung gusto nyong mapadali at mas maging maayos ang money conversation nyo ni partner, I created something that can really help. It's called The Money Talk. Hindi lang ito ebook na puro generic tips. Shinare ko dito yung stories naming mag-asawa, yung mga struggles namin sa pera, yung mga away at tampuhan dahil hindi namin alam kung paano pag-usapan ng pera noon. And more importantly, I shared what we did to overcome that and how we finally learned to talk about money as a team. Kasama na rin dito ang couples workbook, money talk scripts, printable budget templates, at yung basic budget spreadsheet. Lahat ng tools na ginamit namin, ito na yon. If you want to check it out, just check the link in the description and comment section. How to talk about money? Be gentle, have an open mind, be honest, and be transparent. Kung maaari, pag nag-usap kayo tungkol sa pera, dapat ito yung time na hindi kayo pagod, hindi kayo puyat, nakapagpahinga kayo ng maayos, nasa good mood kayo pareho, para less ang chances na mag-aaway kayo tungkol sa pera. So try to be in a good mood with good ambience kung kinakailangan at busog kayo para mas maganda yung flow ng conversation nyo about money. And what should you talk about money? Marami kayong dapat pag-usapan pero one step at a time, one topic at a time. Hinay-hinay lang, paunti-unti. Kasi pag lahat na pag-usapan nyo sa isang upuan lang, ay baka ma-overwhelm kayo parehas, baka sabihin ng isang partner, ayoko na ng ganitong usapan. Ito na yung first and last na usapan natin tungkol sa pera. Hopefully, wag naman sanang ganon, no? If you want to start this conversation, you make a plan. Ano ba yung mga pwede namin pag-usapan? Ano ba yung gusto kong malaman sa kanya? ano yung gusto kong i-share din sa kanya. So make a plan, make a list of what you're going to talk about. I'll also share with you some tips kung ano ba yung mga pwede niyong pag-usapan when you do your first money meeting. Regarding sa kung ano yung mga pwede niyong pag-usapan, you can start off with sharing your money memories. So ano ba to? Maybe you can start off by asking, "Hon, babe, you know what? I'm just curious. What do you think about money when you were a kid? Did you have any childhood experience na tumatak sa'yo kung bakit ganito ka gumastos o ganito ka mag-save ng money? Can you recall any experience during your childhood na related directly or indirectly sa pera?" And then your partner might start sharing, "You know what? When I was a kid, hindi ako nabibilhan ng sapatos. Madalas hand-me-downs lang from my ate and kuya. Tapos yung sa akin parating luma. Kaya nga ngayon gustong-gusto kong bumibili ng sapatos kasi kaya ko na, afford ko na." Diba? Parang ganon. Lalabas yung mga ganong experiences. And you should also share your own experiences. Dapat nga ikaw yung mauna kasi once na nag-share ka ng personal stories mo, experiences mo, susunod yan. Alam mo yung akin naman dati, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. So yun na. Simula na yun ng conversations nyo about money. And as you progress, pwede mo nang ipasok dyan. So, paano mo ba pinag-iipunan pag may gusto kang bilhin? Paano ka nagsisave? O diba gusto mo mag-travel tayo next year, punta tayo ng Japan. Paano natin pag-iipunan yon? Ganon. It's a good start of the conversation. From there, kahit paano, magkakaroon ka na ng idea, ganyan pala yung experience niya as a child. And maybe you'd say, kaya pala siya mahilig bumili ng sapatos kasi yan yung hindi niya naranasan nung bata pa siya. And you get to understand each other better. Mas naiintindihan niyo where you both are coming from kaysa kapag magkasama kayo sa mall, yung isa bili ng sapatos, tas ikaw, ano ba yan? Gastos na naman. Ano ba yan? Puro na lang sapatos. Tambak na yung sapatos niya sa bahay. O diba? Right now, kapag napag-usapan niyo na yung ganitong experiences niyo, may idea ka na kung bakit ganon yung ugali niya. Kung bakit ganon yung motivation niya pagdating sa pag-spend ng money. At kapag naman napansin mo na parang sobra naman yata, puro na lang sapatos, walang ipon, di mapag-uusapan niyo na yan paunti-unti, di ba? I think, hon, napaparami na yata yung bili natin ng sapatos mo. Baka pwede naman mag-ipon din tayo para sa iba pa nating financial goals. Total, marami ka naman ng collection, marami ka pa namang ginagamit. Baka pwede naman sa susunod na lang ulit yung pagbili ng sapatos, diba? Again, always try to be gentle. Wag puro pasigaw na, ano ba yan? Ang dami-dami mo ng sapatos. Bili ka pa rin ng bili. Diba? May mga ganon. We have the tendency, and ako dati, I was also like that. Okay, let me just share with you my experience. Kami ng asawa ko, we've been together for 15 years now. Pero before we got married, we've been together for 3 years. We never talked about money. Not at all. Walang gustong mag-open. Ako kasi, mabudget ako. Gusto ko sinusulat ko lahat. Diba nakwento ko na yon. I was supporting my 3 siblings through college. Ako yung breadwinner. Siya naman, nakatira siya sa family niya. Wala siyang binabayaran. I think nagsishare lang siya ng 1,000 for utilities. Pero other than that, wala na siyang sinishare sa bahay. So his income for himself lang talaga. So magkaiba kami ng priorities at that time. Pero never namin napag-usapan ng tungkol sa pera, ano yung pinagkakagastosan niya, ano yung kung may savings pa siya or something. So never namin napag-usapan. So when we got married, things changed. Ngayon, napag-uusapan na namin ng paunti-unti yung pera, pero yung light lang. Actually, yung first conversation namin, he decided na ibigay sa akin yung ATM niya. Kasi sabi niya, mag-asawa na kami. At gusto niya, ako yung naghahawak ng pera, ako yung maghahawak ng ATM niya, bibigyan ko lang siya ng allowance everyday. Siya yung nag-decide nun siya yung nag-offer nun. Ako naman, wow, exciting kasi dalawa na yung ATM ko. I have my own and I have his. So, pera ni Mr., pera ni Mrs. na kay Mrs., di ba? At ang pera ni Mrs. para kay Mrs., pera ni Mr. para kay Mrs. pa rin. Di ba may ganon? Pero hindi naman. Matipid naman ako. Kaya lang syempre, hindi ako sanay sa ganon. So, I was adjusting. Lahat naman tayo magdadaan sa ganyang point, di ba? Of adjustments. Kahit ngayon matagal na mag-asawa, from time to time, merong adjustments. So, yun. So, that's the first challenge para sa akin. How to budget our money as a couple. And eventually, after a few months, we had to change the way we handle our money. Kasi, nag-iba yung pakiramdam niya . He felt like he doesn't have any control over his money anymore. Na parang parati na lang siya nang hihingi. So, he asked kung pwede sa kanya na ulit yung ATM niya, and then he will just give me yung share niya for everything, sa bills, house, and everything else. So, okay naman sa akin yun. Tandaan natin, in marriage, pwede natin mapag-usapan yung pag-handle natin ng pera, and it changes. Dapat hindi naman to set in stone, diba, na ganito yung napag-usapan natin forever ng ganito. Pwede natin yung baguhin, depende sa priorities natin, depende sa kung ano sa tingin natin ang tama for that moment, kasi nag-iiba-iba yan. And it's okay for me. I totally understand him. Kasi kahit ako, kung ako hingi lang ako ng hingi sa kanya, siya yung nag-ahawak na ATM namin, parang feeling ko hindi rin ako magiging happy about it. Pag-usapan nyo what works for you, may not work for me and my husband, and what works for us may not work for you. Kaya, nasa inyo yan. That's why you need to have an open conversation with your partner. Okay, so ano pa ba yung mga pwede natin pag-usapan, diba? Yung childhood memory, pwede na yun. Lalo na kapag starting pa lang kayo as a married couple, o kaya you've been together for a long time na pero hindi niya na pag-uusapan, maybe it's time for you to talk about, to share your list of accounts. Ano ba yung mga accounts mo? Baka pwede mo namang i-share sa akin or ilista natin. Let's have a file kung saan nandun lahat yung ating mga accounts para we're both on the same page. In case something happens, hindi tayo manghuhula, hindi tayo mahihirapan saan hahanapin yung mga accounts. Diba? Tapos, how much you have? Magkano ba yung assets mo? If you have investments, kung mayroon kayong mga paper assets, ilista nyo. Then, how much you owe? Mayroon ka bang mga pagkakautang? Mayroon ka bang mga liabilities? How much pa yung balance? You can talk about that. Kung hindi nyo kayang i-consolidate lahat in one meeting, pwede nyo namang gawin sa ibang araw. And then, how much do you make ba talaga? Alam ko, marami pa rin talagang mag-asawa, hindi alam magkano ba yung kinikita ng kanilang asawa. They're not as transparent as others, but we cannot blame them. Alam kong may dahilan sila kung bakit hindi nila ipinapaalam sa asawa. Maybe lang, may mga iba na kaya nila hindi ipinapaalam sa asawa is because their partners have the tendency to splurge, or kapag malaman na ganito kalaki ang income, kung ano-anong binibili, kahit hindi naman kailangan, samantalang yung isa gusto niya mag-invest, mag-save for their family rin naman, kaya ayaw niyang ipaalam. So may kanya-kanya tayong dahilan kung bakit hindi natin ino-open up or pinapaalam sa ating partners kung magkano talaga yung ating income. And I respect everyone. Kung ano sa tingin nyo ang okay para sa inyo, then go for it. Kung sa tingin nyo kailangan may hidden accounts yung isa para maka-sure na may masisave, hindi mauubos lahat, then go for it. Pero ito lang ay masasabi ko. Mas maganda pa rin if you are both on the same page. Na pag-uusapan nyo, honest kayo, at nasasabi mo rin openly sa wife mo, sa husband mo na kailangan natin itong separate account para hindi tayo napapagastos or na-over budget. Kasi para sa atin din naman to. Kesa yung kinikip mo lang yan for yourself, hindi alam ng wife mo or ng husband mo na may ganito kang account, baka maging suspicious pa yung iyong wife or husband kapag nalaman na gano'n, di ba? Pero if anything, kung hindi talaga yan for you, kasi meron din akong mga kakilala na nagsabi kaya hindi niya ipinapaalam sa husband niya na meron siyang hidden accounts, na meron siyang savings kasi pag malaman baka ipang sugal. O, diba? May mga ganon. May mga bisyo na iniiwasan din nila na pang savings na nila mapupunta pa sa bisyo ng asawa. We have different situations. Iba-iba yung ating circumstances. It's really important na i-gauge din natin hanggang saan ang pwede mong i-share sa husband or sa wife mo, yung sa tingin mo mas makakabuti para sa pamilya nyo. And hopefully, let's pray about it. Tumating din yung araw na si husband at si wife magkakasundo din, mapag-uusapan din yung tungkol sa pera as a couple para sa pamilya. Walang tinatago, open lang, transparent about everything. Next, pwede nating pag-usapan yung magiging setup natin pagdating sa accounts natin. Kasi iba-iba yung ating preferences sa paghawak ng pera. You have to talk and decide kung ano talaga yung bagay sa inyong dalawa. Pwedeng joint, pwedeng separate, pwedeng hybrid. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Joint means share lahat ng accounts nyo. Yung joint account nyo, dito manggagaling yung para sa bills nyo, all in, one pot. So lahat nandun sa joint account. Dito rin manggagaling yung para sa personal funds mo, personal funds ni Mrs., personal funds ni Mr. Nandun din yung para sa savings. Lahat, everything is in one pot, everything is in one account. This is the joint account. Second, kung hindi naman para sa inyo yan, feeling nyo nakakasakal yan, parang lahat nandyan, walang control, you can try yung separate accounts. So may separate account si Mister, may separate account si Mrs. Pagdating sa bills, bahala na kayo kung meron kayong i-assign na bills for Mrs. or merong separate bills para kay Mister. Basta yung accounts, separate yan. Nasa iyo yung sayo, nasa kanya yung kanya. Or, pwede namang hybrid accounts. Ano ba yung hybrid accounts? Isang joint account for the bills para sa family. Pwedeng nandiyan din yung savings for the family. Bills and savings, magkaisa. We have a joint account. And then, each of you have separate personal accounts. So, dito manggagaling yung mga para sa mga personal luho nyo, fund nyo. Kung yung isa may mahilig sa gardening or sa gaming, bahala na siya. He has his own personal fund, doon manggagaling at bahala na siyang i-budget doon. Yun yung tinatawag na hybrid. Kami when we started off with a joint account. Tapos, it worked so well during the first few months, but then we realized we want to have some personal accounts also na hindi namin papakialaman. Bahala kang gastusin yan sa mga gusto mong pagkagastusan. Like my husband, he's into gaming, may mga hobbies siya. During the pandemic, he got into woodworking. Ako naman, I got into gardening. So, kanya-kanya kami ng hobbies and wala kaming pakialamanan kung ano yung binibili namin. Unlike when we had joint account, parang, pwede ba akong bumili ng ganito? And then he would also ask me, pwede ba akong bumili ng ganyan? So, parang wala kang control. And we felt it wasn't for us. That's why we transitioned to hybrid accounts. And that's what's working well for us right now. Kayo, alamin nyo rin kung anong klase ng account setup ang gusto nyong i-follow. Now, when it comes to bills, pwedeng 50-50 split o kaya percentage-based. When we started, 50-50 kami sa lahat ng bills. Ganon. Pero we realized para kaming roommates. Diba? Sabi nga ni Dave Ramsey, when you do the 50-50 split, para kayong hindi mag-asawa. Para lang kayong roommates. And that's how we felt when we had that setup. And I wasn't really very happy with it kasi there were times na paano pag maliit yung income ko? 50% pa rin ng ambag ko. Di ba parang unfair siya? Then eventually, we tried percentage-based, proportionate to our income. So, nung malaki yung income niya sa akin, syempre, mas malaki yung percentage na babayaran niya sa bills. Ako naman, pag lumaki yung akin, ganun din. And then, it came to a point na hindi na rin okay para sa amin yung ganong setup. And so, we decided, one of us will take care of all the bills, of all the expenses monthly, and the other one will take care of investments, of savings, of healthcare, and all other things. Ganon yung naging setup. I don't know if we're gonna change that anytime soon, but for now, it's really working well for us. And I hope you find the best setup that works well for you. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin yung sa pagbabudget ng pera. Maybe you have already decided, sige, 50-50 split mo na tayo ngayon. So paano naman ang pagbabudget ng pera? Ano-ano ba yung basics ng budgeting? First, know where your money is coming from. If you are employed, maybe it comes from your salary. And if you have side hustles or if you have businesses, freelancing, then write it down. Ito yung galing sa business ko. Or if you receive financial support from your families, maybe from abroad or remittance, ito isulat mo. Lahat ng income nyo, isulat nyo. And then, know your expenses. Ano nga ba yung mga pinagkakagastusan nyo every month? Start with the fundamentals. Ito yung mga needs nyo. And then, yung fund, yung wants, and a future fund for your savings. To give you an example, for fundamentals or needs, ito yung sa housing nyo, food and groceries, utility bills, transport, medical, education if you have kids, helper, debt payment, financial support, tithes, offerings. Your budget is a reflection of your values. Kung ano yung priorities mo, nasa iyan, kung nasa needs category to or nasa wants. Like for us, we value tithing. We believe that everything we have comes from the Lord and we feel good giving our tithes back to the Lord. And that's the first percentage that we set aside as soon as we get our income. And it may be different for you. Baka sa inyo, kung ano yung matira, sige, magbibigay. Pwedeng wala, pwedeng hindi. Sa amin, ito yung pinakauna. Next category in your budget is your fund or yung wants nyo. Ano ba yung madalas nyong gawin with your extra money? Eating out, shopping, entertainment, or meron ba kayong mga hobbies? And third, future funds. Tatlo yun F, fundamentals or needs. Fund for wants, and future fund for your savings. Dapat meron parati tayong sinisave for your emergency fund, for sinking funds, investment funds, or insurance. Kasi mahirap kung sakto-sakto lang for our current needs. Paano naman kung nagkaroon ng emergency? Paano pag biglang nawala ng trabaho o kaya biglang may nangailangan sa pamilya? Wala tayong mahuhugot. And our first line of defense madalas is yung utang. Para maiwasan yan, make sure that when we make a budget, there's always a portion for savings. Here's an example of a couple budget. Let's say yung husband kumikita ng 40,000, si wife naman 30,000, yung combined income is 70,000. Fundamentals, let's say for all the needs in the family, umaabot siya ng 46,000 or 66%. Yung fund naman, 14,000, 20%, and then yung future fund or savings, nasa 10,000. Isa sa pinaka-popular na budgeting method is yung 50-30-20 rule. 50% goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, and 20% for savings. Run your numbers para malaman nyo kung ano yung realistic sa inyo. But if that's your goal na maging 50-30-20, so i-adjust nyo. Kung gusto nyo ng mas mataas yung savings rate nyo, like dito 14% lang, kailangan nyong mag-adjust. Either it's for the wants or the needs, babaan nyo, tipirin nyo, para maging 20% or 30% ang inyong savings. Kung mahalaga sa inyo yung pinag-iipunan nyo, then you have to prioritize your savings and sacrifice nyo muna yung iba nyong pinagkakagastusan if that's possible. Paano ba mag-budget? Ano yung mga tools na pwedeng gamitin? Iba-iba din yan. For those na mahilig magsulat, yung manual lang, like me, I also do that. Pwedeng papel, notebook, sulat mo, then use a calculator. O kaya naman, you can use cash envelopes. I-separate mo lahat ng inyong budget categories. O, sa envelope na to, ito ay para sa aming food and groceries. Itong envelope para sa transportation. And hopefully, you stick to your budget. So kung ang food and groceries nyo, let's say ay 10,000 pesos per month, pag paubos na, o ititipid-tipid na. Pag ubos na, sana wag naman kukuha sa ibang budget categories or ibang envelopes. Kasi baka mag-over budget na naman tayo. The goal of budgeting is for you to stick to your budget, pero not necessarily naman na huwag nang kakain kahit ubos na. Okay lang yon. Pero next time, i-adjust mo kung magkano ilalagay mo sa envelope para hindi ka nag-under budget or nag-over budget. Kung ikaw naman ay mahilig sa mga formula, pwede kang gumamit ng Google Sheet for your budgeting. O kaya, digital apps. Kung gusto mo namang itry yung aking printable templates and free budget tracker na spreadsheet, you can sign up to my email list at makukuha mo ito for free. Kung gusto mo lang itry. Pero meron din akong mga budget bundle na yung mga premium na. All the formulas, may net worth tracker, may financial goals tracker, tapos may mga monthly budget. You can check out the link in the description box. Now, this is the question that a lot of my followers are asking me. Sino ba dapat ang magbabudget, lalo na kapag married kayo? Well, it all depends on who wants to do it. Diba? Baka kasi gusto mong i-assign ang pagbabudget sa wife mo, ayaw niya nga ng numbers, ayaw niya na nagsusulat, ayaw niya nang nag-compute. And if that's the case, then maybe it's for you, si husband na lang. Pero nasa pag-uusap yan. Kung yung isa sa inyo ayaw ng numbers at ikaw gusto mo naman, edi ikaw na yung mag-budget. Kasi baka ipilit mo yan sa isa sa inyo na ayaw niya naman ang ginagawa niya, ma-overwhelm siya, baka hindi niya yun magawa ng maayos. Normally, it's the wife who does that. Ako personally, I like budgeting. Ako talaga ang gumagawa ng lahat ng ito sa family namin. But I understand that not all moms, not all wives would like to do this. So sa mga ayaw ng ganito, maybe you have to ask your husband kung pwedeng siya na lang. Kung mas magaling naman siya sa mga gantong bagay, mas gusto niya ng ganito, baka pwedeng siya na lang. Yung iba naman, ang naririnig ko, ayaw nilang pag-budgeting yung wife nila kasi mas maraming napupunta sa fun, sa shopping. Nasa inyo yan. That's why having an open and honest conversation about money is really important. You can assign whoever is capable and have the time and the patience to do your budgets. I understand, hindi lahat gustong mapag-usapan ang tungkol sa pera, lalo na for married couples. Pero take it easy. Kung hindi pa ready yung isa, okay, wag na munang pag-usapan. Kesa naman pag-usapan nyo, pilitin nyo, tapos hindi pala magiging okay or smooth ang conversation nyo about money. At wag kayong titigil sa first, second, or third money meetings. Mag-set kayo ng schedule kung kailan nyo pwedeng pag-usapan. Kahit yung to give each other updates, paano na ba yung ipon natin, may changes ba sa budget natin. Kung hindi man possible sa inyo yung monthly o quarterly meetings, at least check in every 6 to 12 months para updated kayo parehas. Remember, talking about money is not a competition, it's collaboration. At the end of the day, mag-asawa kayo, you're one team, so dapat magkasundo kayo, nagtutulungan kayo para sa inyong ng mga shared financial goals. No shaming, no blaming, just calm, respectful conversations. Compliment each other if you're making any progress, no matter how small. Don't point fingers. Kung may pagkakamali ang isa, kung may nagawang hindi maganda, okay, talk it out. Pag-usapan nyo, paano natin mariresolve to. And kung hindi nyo talaga kayang pag-usapan ng hindi nag-aaway, maybe you need to ask help from a professional, financial planner, or financial advisor para matulungan kayo at mag-guide kayo. O kaya sa isang marriage counselor. And that's it for our money conversation. Sana may natutunan kayo at mai-apply, mai-share nyo rin sa inyong mga asawa after this video. At kung meron pa kayong gustong idagdag, feel free to share it in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And see you on our next video.